Okay, so we've done a winter range test. We've done a summer test away from the motorway, going cross country, where we looked like range is possible, 240, maybe even 250 miles, possibly more. Recently driving around from home, I've been getting 3 miles per kilowatt hour around town. But one thing that we haven't done with this car and put on YouTube is a motorway range test in the summer. So we left home with 105 miles to go to a golf club to meet my father-in-law for Sunday lunch. It is Father's Day, so we're just going to celebrate the day with him. And then I've got to pop into work to pick up a computer, and then hopefully on the way home we'll have enough charge left to put into my dad's before we get home. All of that is something like 215, maybe 220 miles. That's further than I've ever gone on the motorway in this car. It was 16 degrees when we left home. It's come up to 19. We are on efficiency. I've had the air conditioning off, but as it's getting warmer I might need to just pop that on into aircon eco mode, and we'll see how we do. Now, for the size of the battery pack, for 220 miles we need 2.6 miles for every kilowatt hour in order to do this. We were getting 2.7, stuck in traffic. As you can see, it's actually crept up a bit. Going slowly has improved the efficiency, showing 2.9 at the moment, but that'll come back down again. And at our destination it says we should have more than half a battery left over, so I should have just enough to do this. So we'll give you an update later on and just see if we can get all of this out of the motorway, and then we'll look at what the total maximum range could be. Hopefully I won't reach it. Hopefully I'll achieve everything today, not quite with the full range on, and I'll have a few miles left. So started at 100%, should be halfway around the day at 53%, hopefully enough to get home. Okay, we've done 107 miles, we've had lunch at the golf course, battery showing 54%, so back down towards Heathrow and then back down to Dorset. It should do it, but it's going to be tight. Okay, so far, yeah, did 107 miles up to the Chilterns, lunch with my father-in-law at the golf club, which is very nice. Left there, went down to Heathrow Airport. I had to pop into work, pick up a computer, and now back down. We're just coming up to the New Forest at the end, the western end of the M27. So far we have, once this warning clears, I'll be able to tell you. It's just saying limited visibility. It's just picked up on a signal. So we've done 197 miles so far, and battery is at 14%. Computer says we'll get home with about 5%. So I've got the ability just to pop into my dad's on the way. That's just a very small detour, and it's looking quite good on the range. It's showing 34 miles of range remaining, and the shocking bit, partly helped by the heavy traffic, is that the efficiency on this leg is at 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour, which for motorway driving is unusually good. The other thing with it is we ran up without the air conditioning on, as I said, still in efficiency mode, but on this leg I put air conditioning eco because we had slightly warmer temperatures, and now we've got a bit of humidity in the air, so we're just going to travel in comfort rather than try and maximise the range. And as always, not trying to hypermile it, just driving normally, sticking to the speed limits, and we'll just have to see how things go. But I reckon I'll be home with a few miles to spare and about 5% battery. I've just gone through 30 miles range remaining on the guessometer, the range meter, and I got a low battery warning come up. So I've got this yellow warning popped up, said please charge the battery. Just had a look on car details on the MMI, and that says if I turn off the air conditioning, that 30 miles will become 31 miles. I can get another mile out of it, so the aircon isn't costing me very much at all. Obviously, had I done air conditioning off all the way back from the Chilterns, it would have bought me a bit more than the extra mile. It would have probably got me another 3 or 4 miles. But I'd rather have the comfort, and I think we're pretty easy on achieving our destination. Okay, so the return journey has done 110 miles after stopping at Dad's. The range kind of crept up a couple of miles while the car was parked at my Dad's, and we're not far to home now, and it says 24 miles range remaining. So it looks like we're in for, we've done 217, maybe a little bit more than that, 24 to go, so that'll be 241 miles, but I'll check the driving record on the phone app and pop it up on the next screen. So a quick photo, that's the battery when we got back. I thought it'd be lower than that, but parked on my dad's, I think the temperature kind of stabilises in the battery and it just crept up a couple of percent. That meant we got home with 9%. And you can see also on the guessometer the remaining range. That just shows 23 miles, which is not far off we expected. So a couple of ways to do the maths part. You can either take the fact that we used 91% of the battery and multiply it, or you can say how many miles we did and what the range meter says is remaining. And I know from past experience, if the range meter says we've got a particular range left, it tends to be very, very accurate. So as you can see here on the last screen, the maths, if you take the mileage and the range remaining, that is 240 miles total summer range, or 238 if we work on battery percentages. So that figure's pretty consistent, fairly accurate there, I think. As I said, nearly all motorway, 150 miles of motorway, and just the last bit non-motorway. But again, a lot of that was A roads through the New Forest. There was quite a lot of traffic around, and that did slow us down a little bit. Had we been able to stick to the speed limit all the way, the range might have been a little bit less, but not significantly so. So pretty good summer motorway range, and that compares well with our winter range test, again also available on this channel.